This year, South Dakota had nearly 600 teens in foster care. 30% had already been in the foster care system for 3 years or longer. But 28% had just entered state custody in 2022, a traumatic experience for the teens. But as KELOLAND's Bridget Bennett tells us, some aspects of care also come as a shock to foster parents.
In order for a teen to enter into foster care, the State Department of Social Services must determine their home is unsafe. In many cases, that means kids have experienced abuse, neglect, exposure to substance abuse, or other forms of trauma. But the act of entering into the foster system is traumatic in itself.
Leaving a traumatic situation and going into a whole new system, it's a different type of trauma, it's a different type of adjustment that they have to make.
To add to the stress, there's often a lot of appointments, from physicals to mental health care, dentists, and eye doctors. Foster parents spend the first few weeks and months of a new placement catching up. And for teens, there's usually another medical professional to add to that list.
For the most part, we like to start kids in braces when all their permanent teeth are in. So on average, between 12 and 13 years old. The majority of people we see do have some sort of functional issue with their bite that could be improved with orthodontics.
While braces may be a rite of passage for many teens, it's a much more difficult appointment to make for kids entering state custody.
Because if you're in foster care, you're on Medicaid, and Medicaid doesn't cover braces or anything that it deems kind of unnecessary, which feels really wild to me. It's such a huge need, and the fact that it's not included right now kind of blows my mind. We did not expect that at all.
So how do kids in foster care gain access to orthodontic care, and how many might be aging out of the system without it? It's tonight's KELOLAND Investigates, including a look at some of the other gaps in care for all kids on Medicaid. That's coming up on KELOLAND News.